Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about something that really the story started months and months ago. I'm going to tell the story a little bit, give a little more color to the story, and then show a bunch of cards with it because the deal is done. The barn find deal is done. And if that doesn't mean anything to you in terms of knowing what I'm talking about, the quick explanation is my daughter's boyfriend, whose name is Joseph, has an uncle named Mike. And Mike, from his dad, inherited a collection of vintage cards. And he had said, I got some cards I want to show you. And as we all know, 9 times out of 10, that turns out to be, a bunch of 88 Topps and 90 Donruss, and it's not a whole lot of stuff. Well, the guy brings this stuff over. I'm blown away with all the awesomeness that he has and couldn't believe it. And I'm going to show a bunch of that here in a minute because I have the cards here and I'm going to go over them. I ultimately, he's like, he wanted to sell them and trying to get some money to help his family and all that. And I'm like, okay, great. I can make that happen. Either buy them myself, help you figure out how to sell them on eBay if that's what route you go, maybe an auction house, maybe a dealer, etc. I bought 2 of the cards that night, which I graded at the National. They're right here, the 50 Bowman Jackie, which came back at 2.5, and the 48 Bowman Stan Musial rookie, which came back at 4. Happy that I was able to get those 2 cards. So what I did was then started kind of figuring out, this is all happening over months and months. I can't even remember when I did the original barn find video, but it was a while ago. Well, the market's changed a lot, right? Prices have come down pretty significantly, even in the vintage world. And so to what I said to Mike, who owns the cards, so I'll say Uncle Mike when I'm talking about the guy who owns the cards. I talked to Mike up at Mikey Mannel's. So there's 3 Mikes now involved. Me, Mike in Oklahoma, and Mike who actually owns the cards. And I was telling Mike in Oklahoma about it. This is right in his wheelhouse. He loves these kind of cards. He loves buying complete collection. He has the money to be able to drop that kind of coin on just buying an entire collection. And so I said, look, are you interested in these? He said, absolutely. And the idea was that we were going to have this meeting actually here at my house today. And unfortunately, for circumstances with both the other Mikes, that didn't get to happen. But what did happen is the cards were able to get here through Joseph, brought them over. And I FaceTimed with Mike in Oklahoma and said, hey, here's what we got. Here's what they're looking at. We talked through it together. I was very open and transparent about the condition of the cards, about, how many there were. And we went through, and just FaceTimed and just showed him lots of stuff. I sent him some pictures. And we talked through kind of what we thought the value of that was. And as we did that, if that's the retail number, then I need to be here to have enough meat on the bone to make it make sense for me, taking the risk, etc. Bottom line is the deal got done. They ultimately came to a deal. I don't think it's fair for me to talk numbers because they're not my cards. If they were my cards, I would tell you what they did the deal for. But I can tell you I paid $2,000 for these 2 cards raw. So wait till you see the rest of the stuff, and then you can start doing some mental math and maybe come to a conclusion on your own of what you think. But not my place to disclose what their deal was, but a deal was struck, and we're going to be delivering these cards up in a few weeks up to Oklahoma. Get some money and get Uncle Mike paid. And I thought it was very fair. I wasn't an advocate for either person, although with Uncle Mike not knowing a whole lot about cards, I felt like I really needed to make sure that it seemed fair to me, and knowing what I know, I think a very fair deal was struck for both. I think there's enough meat on the bone for Oklahoma Mike to make some money, and because he owns a card shop, and that's what he does that's what he does. So I get that. It's a business, and I think Mike is happy, and he was very happy with the number that was offered. So there you go. So now I get a chance, since these cards are here for at least a little bit. Joseph is here, and so I'm going to turn this camera around and maybe show you some binders and some other stuff. I'll show you what's here. Hang on 1 second. All right, so what I think I'm going to do here is show you, there's a couple of binders here that encompass this collection. And I think it'll be easier for me just to kind of hold the camera and try to flip through this a little bit. You can see here, and by the way, all of it was sold, like one fell swoop, which is great if you're a buyer or a dealer, no, excuse me, the seller, because you get rid of all of it, you know, and that's just good to get that done. And if you're a buyer, you can maybe find some, you know, gems in the, diamonds in the rough kind of thing. So it's got some 53 tops, a couple of 55s and 54s, nothing big here. These are the kind of pages that it was originally in. Several 52s here. I don't think there's any high numbers, but just a couple of those, not a ton of those. Some 57 tops are here. Again, not like, none of this is crazy stuff. These are all just mainly commons. A few little football cards, 50, like some old Bowman football cards and stuff. But again, most of these are rough shape. I remember looking at these the second time, and like these are literally cut out. So the condition on this is far from ideal. Like you're just talking, like these are literally some old, I can't remember what these are called. They're like, I think it's on the back. They call them, I guess they're like a Bowman set, you know, actresses, like from back in the day. But those are there. And then he's got just a bunch of 70s cards in here, most of which are really beat up and not in good shape at all. So that's binder number one, probably the least exciting binder, literally, of all of it. But he bought those. Again, all of this together. This is the better binder of the two. And so here we've got a bunch of 48 Bowman. I've pulled out mostly all of the Hall of Famers and key cards because I didn't want to leave them in binder pages, but some 48 Bowmans here. I start into some 49 Bowmans, quite a few of those. Like you can see how thick this is. There's a lot of cards here. So these are all 49 Bowmans. There's a Bobby Brown rookie. So actually, I should have pulled that out. It's a Pee Wee Reese. That's what she said. Should have pulled that out. More 49s. So you can see 40. I mean, I don't have to do this slowly. Then you get into, I kind of kept them in order. You got a bunch of 50 Bowman, like literally pages and pages of 50 Bowman right here. Get into, let's get through the 50s Bowmans. Again, a lot of, like, they're miscut, like that one, totally miscut. That one's totally miscut. And then there's some that are decently centered, you know. It's kind of typical of what you would expect if you were buying cards back in the day and just opening packs. You're going to get a hodgepodge of conditions and whatnot. So then there's 51 Bowmans here. And there is, you know, 20 pages worth of 51 Bowman cards. Again, all the Hall of Famers and stuff have been pulled out. So these are all the 51s. And then there's some back here. Sorry. Some 51 tops right there. They're all the red backs, so they're the less, they're the more common ones for sure. There's the reds versus the blues. There's Dom DiMaggio, David Bell. So again, I'm just wanting to give you an idea of what's here. Hank Bauer's up there. So some 51 tops after 51 Bowman. Then you've got 52 Bowman, you know, Bobby Thompson up here. And then that's it. Not a ton of 52 Bowman. Only like 3 or 4 pages of that. So that's the binders. And then up here in the box that I'm about to show is kind of all the kind of Hall of Famer stuff. So let me get to that. All right, so the last piece of this puzzle is, so you saw the binders, that was part of it, but really what you're buying for a lot of this is the Hall of Famer cards, the key cards. And so I'm going to show you just a random, not random, I'm going to show you a stack of all these key cards, mainly not mainly, all Hall of Famers to go over. I showed you a few 52 tops. There was a 52 tops Bob Feller in the group of cards. Very, very rough shape, but still, again, conditioned. It's just cool to have them, right? It's cool to see them. So there's a Feller. I'm going to do these pretty quick. This beautiful 57 tops mantle was one of the best 57s. There's another one coming up later, but that one is in very nice shape. There was a Roy Campanella rookie, a very off-center Yogi Berra rookie, a 48 Bowman Stan Musial rookie. I'm sorry, that's 49 Bowman. I don't know why I said that. 49 Bowman, I know better. Come on, Mike. A 51 Bowman Ted Williams, very nicely centered. 48 Bowman Ralph Kiner. Johnny Mize. Bob Feller. Very miscut Phil Rizzuto rookie. Enos Slaughter. 49 Bowman, I'm sorry, Lou Bedrew. I think that's who that is. Yep. Like, look how clean the backs are. Like, they're really... Oh, no, wait. That one's not very clean. It's got a mark on it. It says Boston on it. I wonder if all the 49... But we'll find out here in a minute. Some nice 50 Bowmans. There's Bob Feller. George Kell, I think. Yep. Phil Rizzuto, but like you can see up there, there's some paper loss at the top. That's a very tough card, by the way, to get in a good grade. Luke Appling, 50 Bowman. Norman's barking in the background. Ralph Kiner again. I mean, there's no doubt these are, not pristine cards, but most of them are nice. I mean, they'd be great examples in most people's collections. That was Bobby Dorr, Early Win, I think. No, sorry, Bob Lemon. Some more. Got 3 or 4 stacks total, just to show you the breadth of this collection. Enos Slaughter, a nice Robin Roberts there. Red, very miscut Richie Ashburn. Johnny Mize. Now we're going to get into, he has tons of 51 Bowman. So you've got Billy Southworth, manager, Hall of Fame manager. This beautiful, well, I say beautiful just because it's a great card. There's a huge crease right along the center, as you can see on the Whitey Ford rookie, card number 1 in the 51 Bowman set. This one's actually very pretty. This 51 Bowman Duke Snider. I think that's a gorgeous example of that card. Got this card at I bought this card at the National in a 4. That's a George Kell. Johnny Mize. So many of these I need for my 5 decade set, but I thought the guy could get a much better deal selling them in one fell swoop to Mike. I mean, Mike's going to pay more than I would, honestly, because I'd have to grade them. And from what I understand, Mike in Oklahoma is not going to grade most of these. He's just going to sell them raw. There's Slaughter. Win. Pretty good centering on some of these, for sure. There's DeRocher. The Stengel's pretty beat up. The Frank Frisch is way miscut. And creases and lines and stuff. Bill Dickey. last bigger stack here. There's Al Lopez. A beautiful 52 Bowman Yogi Berra. Here's a very nice 57 Topps Al Kaline. '52 Robin Roberts. So there's a 51 Robin Roberts. Bucky Harris. Bob Feller. Beautiful. Yogi Berra 51. That's actually well centered too. 52 Campanella. Look at this card, it's so great. Look at that smile on Bob Feller. 52 Bowman. Love it. Rizzuto. Another cool card. These are, what am I kidding? They're all cool. Ashburn. Here's a very nice 50 Bowman Pee Wee Reese. Very well centered. Nice color on it. Larry Doby 50. Yogi Berra 50. Registration's not great on that one. Very off center, but still very nice. Roy Campanella 50 Bowman. Again, another beautiful Duke Snider and a 50. I had the 51 earlier. Showed you a 51 earlier. Here's some 51 Topps. You got Monty Irvin, Feller. There's a Nellie Fox rookie. Early Win. Phil Rizzuto. I mean, the truth about it is, if I had the cash / patience buying all of these myself and grading them and, you know, keeping the ones I wanted to keep, 49 Bowman Feller, I would do it, but I just don't have the patience for it, quite frankly, which probably seems silly, but you know, it is what it is. George Kell. Kiner. Mize. Rizzuto with a crease through it. Gil Hodges rookie that's really beat up, not in very good shape. Early Win rookie, that's actually a shockingly expensive card. Red again. Here's some more 51 Topps. Kiner. Snyder. That one's nice. Berra. It's a 50 Bowman Frank Frisch. The Fordham Flash was his nickname. There's another red. This is the card I really want. Like, if I was going to cherry pick any of these that are left that I don't already have, this one would be it. And that's the 51 Bowman Roy Campanella. Look at that. That is a very nice baseball card. And then the Doby. Well centered on that one too. Wow. And then there were two bangers, two huge cards that made this whole deal possible. If these cards weren't in here, the value would not be nearly what it is. And the first one is this beautiful 51 Bowman Mays rookie. Very nice. No creases through these at all. Great registration on this card. Great color. Very nice. Corners are soft, of course. Centering's not perfect left to right for sure, or top to bottom, but very nice example of that card. Way better than the one I have, which is a 2. And then this one, Mr. Mantle. Mr. Mantle. Rookie card. The registration, you can see, is not perfect. There's some kind of color bleed, it looks like in the New York. This is probably a 2 or a 3. would be my guess in terms of grade. Obviously, center, there's a lot of issues with this card, but it's still a 51 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie. It's great. It's a great card. So there's the back. You see the typical 51 Bowman staining that happens at the top and the bottom of the card. Very, very normal. In fact, I think PSA almost dismisses that as just being part of the 51 Bowman set. So that is it. That is the story behind and the conclusion of this whole barn find thing, this finding this collection, helping a friend get rid of it, helping a friend find a collection to buy. That's the circle of life for sports cards. These cards will be rehomed, they'll be back in the hobby, they'll be back in circulation, and that's the thing I'm most happy for. Somebody else is going to get to enjoy these cards, and everybody in the deal makes some money. So that's a win-win-win-win all the way around. So thanks everybody for watching and following along and asking great questions. Love to hear what you think down below. We'll talk to you soon. Keep collecting.